nothing out of that. What I mean by that is the IF appears to be tuned fine. So let's try the front end part of this radio now. Let me stop the video and I'll set everything up here. Okay, need a little bit of caution here as I try to figure out where to inject the antenna signal, and you might say, well, just inject it into the antenna. Why not? Into the antenna wires, the two antenna wires, and just hang in here. One of these, the green one, goes right to the capacitor, tuning capacitor. Where does this one go? You can see me tugging it. It's here. Connects to this terminal. So this terminal is connected to the frame of the capacitor up above, and I see all the screws that are holding the tuning capacitor down are grommeted, which means they're insulated from the chassis, which means the voltage on that capacitor is different from the chassis in some way. That means touching that a little bit dangerous. Touching the capacitor frame up on top here, say touching the capacitor frame and the chassis at the same time, might give you a quick vacation. So I put the ground from the signal generator back to the B minus, and I can put this connection onto the antenna connection that goes to the capacitor. Stay away from that white wire because I'm really not sure what that white wire is doing. Again, I have no schematic. I can make all kinds of assumptions. That should be okay. That's an assumption right there, isn't it? That should be okay. Now we need the right frequency here. Kenneth, what's the frequency? So we're going to tune the radio roughly in the middle of the AM band. Maybe something like, we do it around 900. So we're going to turn on the radio, and then we got to tune it to 900. Hear the tone coming out. Give it a little more juice, and then we can tune that transformer. 900. Are we ready? Now, if I've made a mistake, I've hooked up high voltage. If I've made a mistake, I have the potential to hook up high voltage here to my my signal generator. So I'm going to chicken out. I'm going to put in a capacitor because I'm a chicken. It'd be better to be a turkey right now. Of course, you have to be American. American Thanksgiving's just happened. Canada has a Thanksgiving vacation too, about a month ahead, but it's not the same celebration at all. It's nothing at all like the American Thanksgiving. So, okay, I think we're ready now. Power on. Power that baby on. We can tune the radio partially here. Get it in the middle. Oop. Somewhere around here. There we go. It's easier to tune the signal generator a bit than to tune the radio. Okay, so it's just, I can only go up so high with my signal generator, up to about just under 1 million, so probably the radio is tuned. Oh, where is the radio tuned? Let me grab this. Look here. Okay, high numbers are at the bottom, so we'll go for the low numbers at the top. There it goes. I went right by it there. There's a nice quiet spot here. Good. So I'll tune the signal generator to this spot. Ooh, too much signal. Is that too much signal, or is that some kind of distorting thing going on in there? Sounds fine now, but if I put more signal in, get lots of weird stuff. It's just probably just overdriving it. So we want to reduce this now down. So the tone you're hearing again is a heterodyne with some other signal of some sort. It's not to be the thing you're listening to while you're adjusting this. You should really be watching the ABC meter. And I have to give a little more power here. That's not. Okay, I can see the ABC meter moving now. So we'll make it go high. The tone has nothing to do with this. So we now have the radio tuned right on. Turns out to be 851. Now I'm going to adjust that transformer and hope there's a huge lift. Again, I'm going to have my hand on the chassis, so I'm going to want to do this. Even though this is not actually plugged in the wall, right? I can still get shocks off it. So that top one is this one here. Go in. Hey, where's the slug? Way up there? Yeah, something up there. Huh. Wow. Maybe there's one slug and I've hit the bottom of it. Okay, so adjusting and watching the meter. Down and down. So I'm afraid this guy... Ooh, what was that pop? That went that deep into it. So from looking at the side here, how deep is that? That's wow. So some of these transformers can be adjusted for, and you can find two peaks on it, a good one and a bad one. And it's not impossible to accidentally tune it up on the bad peak. The bad peak being a weak peak. Sometimes the radio instructions will say drive the slug or whatever all the way down and then bring it up and select the first peak you come to or the second peak or something like that to sort that thing out. Could that be what's wrong here? I doubt it, but don't touch that. Don't touch that. Okay, here we go. Watch the meter now. I think I'm turning the same slug. That's what I think is happening here. No, it's only downhill. So the radio is properly tuned. I wonder if I'm the guy who did it. So everything's good, except it's not. How do we know it's not? So I didn't pick anything up when I tuned, and it's got all kinds of great... It's got 6 tubes. It should work really well. Well, I'm going to hook the antenna back up, and maybe I got a false impression of how it was working. Okay, power off. You may have noticed I did that with the restriction on, but the actual voltage supplied to it was over 115 volts. So restriction didn't make any difference. We'll leave the radio like this rather than lay it flat because I want to keep instruments connected. Put the antenna back on. Antennas here. It's nothing to this. Just wire. No capacitor. No nothing. I said before, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't matter which way you hook this antenna up. Okay, power's off. So it could be the antenna is so directional, I just didn't get it turned the right way. Pick up stations. A little more light on the topic here. just kind of tacking these on here for now. Tack them on good enough they'll stay. So when I say tacking, what I mean is I'm not going to wrap the wire around the post because I'm anticipating having to take it off later, and if it's all wrapped in place it's just really hard to get off. So to me that's what tacking a wire on is. I think that's what it really means. I mean, I have to get it to tack on there. It'll come off, I won't notice it. I'll be testing away without the antenna proper. Okay, that won't come off. Okay, Mr. Radio, so I'm going to stand up your antenna like this, kind of the way it is normally. Take out this equipment. Everybody out of here. Everybody out of the pool. Okay, nobody's connected except just the speaker on clip leads. Otherwise, this radio is normal power on. $116 volts, 117. Lots of volume. Tune something in now. Yeah. These tricky knobs here. There we go. That's good enough. I picked up one station last time, didn't I? There he is. One weak station. Okay, they're talking sports, so I think it's 590. Let's try this antenna now. There's no directionality, it seems. And wire's going to come off still. Why is such poor reception? Bad tubes. Maybe a bad tube. I think that's the next step, is to test the tubes in this guy. Okay, so let's do the two 12 BA6s. This tube was hardly in. Really? Was it half out while I was doing all that? Well, let's go ahead and test it anyway. Okay, around and around and around we go. Okay, let's double check here. 12BA6. 13 is the setting for the heater. 410L 52763. 52763. 4120, 4120, 33. C. Good. Come in. Turn it on. Meanwhile, it should be up like that, and I'll get the next 12 BA6 out here ready to go too. 12 BA6, yeah. Okay, short test. All's good. 12 BA6 should read just under 1,000, which is about there. That's a good one. Okay. That's unfortunate. I'm hoping to find a dead tube here. Okay, we'll let that guy warm up. Shorts, no, and how good are you? Okay, it may not have warmed up yet. Let's give it another minute because this one is proving to be just what I'm looking for. She's dead. Oh, it's really dead. Oh, no, it's not dead. It's. Oh, I don't know what to make of that. Yikes. Well, and the other tube didn't do anything like this. Now my tube socket's definitely worn out here. Put that tube in. Again, we'll wiggle this one around and see if it does the same kind of nonsense here. No! So I'm going to guess there's like a loose pin on this. Can you ever feel it? I don't know, but I think this one's got to go. I'll put this where the bad tubes go. That would be the garbage ultimately. But this guy tested really good, so we're going to put him back in. And the next one will be the 12BE6 tube. So I get this back in. Okay, 12BE6. Yep. I always make sure because once in a while a wrong tube is in the radio, or tubes have been two tubes have been swapped by accident. 1348L 51763 51763 3000 41 C full tube. Well, if I'm lucky that the 12BA6 that was misbehaving is the cause of the weakness in the radio. If I'm lucky. Maybe I'll find more weak tubes. Any short in there? No. No shorts. So 12B should come up 1500, like straight up here. Oh yeah, she's a beauty. Wonderful. I put that one back in. Now we're down to this 12 CR6. I bet you I don't have that on here. Let's look. 12C. I've never heard of this tube. 12 CR6. There it is. Okay, so we'll do the triode side of it. 13 volts. 2 on the signal. 20L. 20L. 10763. 10763. 4500. 4500. 40. D. Okay, we're ready. So on that funny 6BA6, could it just be the tube pins are dirty? Well, I can't imagine that. My experience with tube pin and tube pin contact is they're amazingly good. Yeah, there can be some problems now and then, but surprisingly good contact. Okay, any leak in this tube? No leaks. So in this case, it should come up to 1250, somewhere around there. Ooh, we have another. We have another. Looking at double check everything, because 12CR6. Where am I going to get one of these now? And you know what? This has the diode. We'll test the diode in a minute. Maybe it's got a worn out cathode. 13. Let me just double check. 13. It's definitely 13. 220L. 10763. 10763. 4500. 40D. And that's supposed to come up almost straight up. So this tube is very weak. Now it's got a diode in, so let's test the diode side. If it's the cathode that's really causing this, it'll show up weak here too. I think they have a shared cathode. I'm sure they have a shared cathode. 13760. 13760. 0000. I've never seen that before. 41 and A. Just look for shorts just in case something has changed. So rectifiers and diodes. So an OK diode just has to get up above this little notation here that says diodes OK. And I made it. So why the ABC seems low is unknown at this time, but you know, it is known. The weak IF tube, the 12BA6, is producing a weak signal. And so there's hardly anything coming out of the IF, hardly anything to rectify and develop an ABC voltage. That's that. So this guy is mostly audio oriented. So I don't have a replacement that I know of. I'm going to have to look. I don't think I have one. So we're going to put this guy back in. But on the radio side, it cannot be weak because it's not on the radio side, except for the diode. And now we'll grab the output tube. The output tube is a big 35C5. Big 35C5. So 35C5. 35, there it is. Filament set 35. Signal 18H 15765. 15765. 15765. 4300. 4300. 45. C. Don't get that wrong. Okay, here we go. Plug them in. 35 volts. Let them have it. Okay, shorts. Looks good. And this guy is supposed to test up at 940, just under the 1000 mark here. He's good. He's good. He's good. He's good. That's good. Good, 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 good. So we ended up basically 2 weak tubes. One has to be replaced. Oh, that was interesting, what I just did. I took the tube out of my tube tester here, plugged it right back in the radio, and for a moment the radio made a sound. I don't know what to make of it, but it did. The radio's got no power. So I gotta get a 12BA6. I will hunt down my I'll hunt down one of those. So if you're doing the kind of stuff I'm doing here, you probably have a somewhat random collection of tubes like I have. But I've been working on mine, testing them all, and cleaning out all the bad ones. I'm going to show you how I'm storing them. So this particular bucket, 12-volt miniature tubes, because I don't have all that many. I don't have a lot of 12-volt miniature tubes. So they're all in here. So what I've done is I've gone through my tube collection. These are all 1287s. And these are all good, because I've tested every one of them, and if they were bad, they're in the garbage now. Actually, they're in a big bag of bad tubes. So if I need a 1287, I know I have this many. I have a record of the number. If I have somewhere I can look up on my computer 1287 and find out I've got, what, 25 of them or something. But if I actually need one, I have to test them to be absolutely sure. I know they're working. I just don't know. Like, there could be some that are really good and some that are on the line. That's how I've done this. In other cases, well, here's my 12 BA6s. In other cases where I've been inclined to do it, I've gone ahead, tested every tube and recorded the results and labeled each tube with a serial number. And so I have a lot of that also. But I didn't do these. These are just in the bag, but I know they're good. They've all been tested. So I could just grab one and stick it in there, but let's grab one. We'll run it through the tester and make sure it's good. Okay, now I've set this for 12 BA6. And we'll double check first to check and make sure this is a Hitachi 12 BA6. Okay, double checking the settings. Start off with 13. Oh baby, I left that at 35. A good practice with these tube testers, and I am not an example of someone who does good practice, is to always turn this down to 6.3 when you're done. Never leave it up higher. Never leave it on 50. You'll be in for a surprise. Okay, filament at 13, that's right. Signal 4, yep. 10L 52763. 52763. 4120. 4120, we're all set to go here. 33, and C on the plate, up around 1,000. Okay, we'll stick them in. How good can you be? So I have about 1,000 tubes now that I have tested and I know are good. Some of which, as I mentioned, I have serialized and everything, and I have records on each individual tube. I'm tracking it all on my computer. This all stems from about a year ago when I went nuts on a tube tester and tube testing and all this kind of stuff to reassure myself that I had a pretty good grip on this whole deal with tube testers. I think I do. Before I launched into testing thousands of tubes, or 1,000 tubes, and finding out in the end I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't want that to happen. So here we go. We'll make it to 1,000. Ooh, she's good. Okay, that's going in the radio. So what I'll do now is I'll get on the computer and I'll debit my record of 6 BA6s. I'll just reduce the number from whatever it is, 8 to 7 or 10 to 9, whatever it is. Hey, let's go put this on the radio. This could make a pretty big difference. A pretty big difference. So this is going to go right in the front here. I mean, this has to make a big difference in this radio. Okay, no equipment connected to it. It's just the radio on its own. It's all by its lonesome here. I don't want the antenna wires to break off. They're hanging on by a thread. Volume down before we get really good blasting. Dim bulbs going in. This tube is just, look at this thing. What did I do here? This thing's glowing like a light bulb. What did I do? Did I do something stupid there? Wow. That guy's really taking a beating. Don't quite understand. It's calmed down now. I don't know what that was. That's... Okay, here, well, what do we got? Tune this baby. Not very good. That's... Come on. Sit there. That makes me wonder, that kind of sound. Sounds like a fairly strong signal being cut off in a tube somewhere. Something like that. One station. Think changing these tubes would affect the tuning of these coils? I don't think so. The weak tube was here in the IF. Does that throw the IF tuning off? I don't think so again. Let's just fiddle with it here. Just listening. No. There we are. There we go. Nothing. Well, that's no golden voice we're listening to, that's for sure. Could be this tube. Kind of a crummy antenna too. You know what? I didn't put these on. Difference. I don't know. I just don't think this is a winning situation here. No, listen to that. It's really not much surprise if this is causing the problem with this tube here. 12 CR6. Do I have one? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna... So I've tested about 1,000 tubes maybe and thrown away probably 400 of the 1,000 tubes. That's probably what's happened. I'm not exactly sure of the numbers. I have about another, I'm not sure, 400 tubes to go through yet. I'll see if I can find a 12 CR6.